Good evening, everybody. Today we are going to be doing a brand new challenge. So my goal here for this is to make an 8-person house, but we're going to make it a tiny home. Now, this is definitely going to be quite difficult because I've given myself kind of a small lot here, but of course we're going to try and keep it as small as possible, and we've got to fit 8 people in there. So let's see how that goes. So obviously I'm going to start with the foundations for the house, so I guess I'm going to sort of just lay it all out and see how it goes. I have this idea as well that we can have a garage and have a sim living in there, kind of like where you've got like a teenager and they want their own space, but they're in a very crowded home, so you stick them in the garage. So I'm going to start off with just the kind of size that I'm thinking for the garage. Of course, like it's better to have like slightly bigger garages, but I don't really know how that's going to kind of affect the look of the entire house. I think I'm going to pull it across as far as I can get it. We'll go with a like sort of like this size kind of garage I think should be okay, and then I want to just kind of like build around it. Let's section off this bit, and then that can either be a bedroom or something else. This is obviously our little front door here. This is definitely going to be a very tight house. I go here, this front room here could be a double bedroom, and then maybe we split the other two off like this so that we've got 2 3 rooms, and then obviously we've got this room here. Now again we have like the sort of toilet problem where we don't really have a toilet anywhere at the minute, and that's kind of annoying. I am aiming for this to be like 8 adults can live here, not necessarily children. I might change that later, but at the minute it makes sense to have it so that 8 adults can live here. But let's have a look at that. So we've got one that lives down here. We've got one that lives in this little 3 by 3 room. Two, or like I guess 3 people. 4, 5. Obviously, we can do bunk beds as well, but I'm gonna try and aim to not put bunk beds in there. But I think we're gonna have to if it's actually going to work in a tiny build. And also, it makes sense if you've got like kids that they might share like a room together, but having a 3 by 3 room and having bunk beds in there is an absolute nightmare. Let's split this one in half, and then I'll see what I can do with the remaining, but that doesn't leave us with any like toilets at all. And then that's a bedroom and this is a bedroom. I think that that does kind of work. So that basically means we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So we've got 7 bedrooms, which is obviously like a very large amount of bedrooms at the minute. And I think that should be fine. That means that we only need 1 bunk bed, and then someone might be able to get a double bed as well. So now that I've got all of those in, let's go ahead and decorate the outside of the house so that we can add in our stairs and all of our windows and everything now that we have sort of a better idea of the layout of the house. So obviously we need our little garage door as well. I don't really know which one I want to go with. Probably just this one. Then obviously we need it on the other side as well. I think I'm going to go with warm colours for this build. So for our front door, we're going to want something... What we want? Something with a window, something like this could be quite good. Or I guess something like this is actually quite nice. I think I'm going to go with that one for the front door. Then I'm going to change our stairs a little bit so they match the colour palette a little bit better. So we're going to go with this sort of lighter brown, which is a bit annoying because this kind of brown is like actually really difficult to find in a lot of items. But it should be okay. We'll work it out. So I'm going to go with that light brown, but I'm going to mix it in with blacks. I think that should be quite good. Or alternatively, we could mix it in with like dark greys, given that we've got a dark grey garage. So I do something like this. That looks pretty good. Okay, then in terms of windows, I think I'm going to go with like this kind of window. Perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and start working on, I guess, the walls and the roofing. And obviously we need to add in all our doors inside and stuff, but I can do that once we get inside. So the roofing is kind of where I'm hoping that this will all start to look a little bit less messy, but I guess we'll see how it goes. So my plan is I'm going to add this kind of thing here, then do the same thing on the other side, and obviously we can stretch that across all the way as it's the same size. Then my plan is to take one of these and we can stretch that across all the way as well and bring it up over here. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. There we go. I don't think that looks too bad. It's a little bit strange, but I think it's okay. It looks fine. Then I want to add in as well, obviously we've got all of these bits here. I think I'm going to add this just slanting off at an angle. There we go. And then I think there might be a way that I can make this one look kind of cool as well. The idea is to just put like one all the way across here that goes all the way to here. I don't know if this is going to work. Okay, sadly my plan did not really work with that, so we're going to have to go with another option, which I guess would just be to do a similar thing there here as well. Okay, there we go. So we've got all our roofing sorted now, and then we can go in and finally do our walls. I'm going to move this slightly so it's like there, so I think that looks a little bit better. Then let's work out what we're going to do. So I did have an idea that what I can do is like rock or something along those lines, like all across the front part here, like this, and then we can have it change up a little bit later. I think that looks pretty good. And then obviously we need the rims for our roof, and then we've got to do a little bit of decorating outside as well. Okay, so I added a bunch there. I think I'm gonna add like a little bit of ivy to this side just because this wall's looking super empty and I definitely feel like it needs something. I'm also contemplating actually adding in a door here so that we can add a little bit of a back garden to it as well, but I don't know whether that's going to look like super great, mainly just because I don't know if it's actually going to get in the way of like everything else that we have planned. So I think we get rid of that. We'll add it in for now, and if it needs changing later, we'll change it later. But for now, I want to have like that back door there. I might actually do it in glass so that we have a little bit more light coming in. Think I'm going to do it in this one maybe. This glass door is quite nice. Yeah, we'll do it that one. And then I'm going to go through and just add in a bunch of ivy to the side here so that it looks like a little bit more like it's used. And also ivy just makes the house look way better. Okay, so I added it on one side, and then we've got to just go in and do it on the other side as well. This side's going to be a little bit different just because we do have obviously windows, so we've got to like bear that in mind. I'm going to have to make it a little bit tighter on this side, I think. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. The only other thing I think is to add like some little flowers just near the bottom, which I think I will do. We'll add them in like a couple of different shades maybe. I don't know whether it would be better actually to just do all in one, just because it did look a little bit strange mixing it up. I think I'll just do some pink flowers just near the bottom so that it looks a little bit cuter. But yeah, I think that looks pretty good for the ivy. So let's move on to, I guess we want a little bit of a back garden as well. I don't really want it to be like all centered around the back garden just because this video is mainly about getting the house to look like it's more like for a lot of people, but obviously it would make sense that you would actually also have a back garden. So I think what I'm gonna do is we'll add a little platform over here so that we can have a dining table, because that makes sense that you'd want a dining table so that you could actually maybe eat outside and stuff. Then I'll just quickly sort out this garden, add a couple of bits to it so that it looks a little bit nicer, and then we'll move on to the inside. So I'm going to add some little twinkling lights just to this back section here, and then I'm going to just add in our little like dining table and chair bits outside. And obviously this will actually give us more seating as well for when they want to have dinner, because I have a feeling that the inside dining table is not going to be big enough in the slightest, because the inside is so small. I would consider this like a small garden anyway, just because there isn't like a massive amount of space in the garden to actually do things. And to be fair, we're not even going to be able to fit a massive table outside either. Gonna go with a similar dining table and chairs that we put for my last short, where I was making a garden. If you haven't seen that, I would recommend checking it out, because I think that is the most effort that I think I've ever put into a garden before. I've literally never really done gardens that much. I think I'm going to start getting into them more though, just because I do think that it's quite nice to have like a nice garden when you're actually playing. And then I think that's the outside of our house done. I think it looks pretty good. I like it. Then obviously we can go on to the inside, which is the main part of this challenge, where we're going to try and fit all of these bedrooms and all the other things that you would actually have in this house into such a small space. Okay, so I've just added a bunch of lighting in so that we have a vague idea of the kind of spaces that we've actually got, and then I'm going to go ahead and add in our doors. Need little steps that take us down from here. It's not like super tall, so it doesn't really get in the way too much. Obviously these rooms are going to be like slightly shorter than the rest, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think I'm going to go with this dark grey colour for the main like entrance hallway and obviously the living room and kitchen area. I might change the kitchen to be something slightly different, but we'll have a look once we get to it. I'm picking this darker colour. Normally I don't for like small spaces, just because a general rule of thumb is you want it to be lighter for small spaces, but I have a feeling like it genuinely brings like a bit of warmth to the area, and it'll make it feel a little bit like cozier if we have that darker colour in there. I am going to change these steps just to be sort of matching the colour palette that we've already got. Another general rule of thumb though is that you want the steps, the actual steps themselves, to match the floor that you've got, and I'm going to go with wood for at least this inside part, and I think I'm going to go with probably the same wood that we did outside, which means, again, I'm probably going to use just the same steps that we used outside as well. I am feeling like down here I might put carpet, but I do want this section to be... So I'm thinking like this is obviously like the living room, right? I guess we don't really need a dining table inside if we have one outside. It's a bit like, yeah, but you know, like I guess it doesn't really matter too much. You could just sit down in the living room to eat, and I would rather have a living room than a dining room. Another option is that we have a small table here, but I don't think that's going to work super great. Or we also have a breakfast bar, and a breakfast bar works as well for eating at. A breakfast bar might work, but it's completely dependent on how much space we actually have, and that's going to be quite difficult. So what I'm thinking is we do tile for this part of the room, and then we do some carpet for this part, which is going to be the living space. I would like maybe a lighter tile, something like this works quite well because it matches what we've already got in the walls. Then let's move on and do some carpet in the rest of it. So I'm trying to work out where I want it to cut off. I might have it cut off like here, and then have the rest of this room be the cream. I don't know if that looks a little bit strange. Probably fine, right? Yeah, I think that looks okay. I mean, alternatively, you can have it like that, but I think it's better to have it be this way. Let's have a look, see how it looks. How does that look? A little bit strange. I don't think it's got enough carpet if you do it that way. So yeah, that's fine. We'll do it like that. And then let's do the same upstairs. So I'm going to do this wood upstairs in the hallway. Then I do want a banister as well. So we're going to pick a similar wood color for the banister. I'm going to go with like this one, which is literally from the same set, so at least I know that it all matches. I'm still contemplating getting rid of this section under the stairs, but I think what I might do is actually change it slightly so that you can see under there. I mean, you don't get much of a vision of it anyway, but I'm kind of thinking you could put like a coat rack or something just there. So to do that, what I'm going to do is just grab a door frame. We'll grab it in grey so that it kind of matches, and we can just put it directly there. I am going to need to move the stairs, which is a bit annoying. And then I need to add in the things that I'm thinking for the coat in now. So now all I need to do is just add this in, and then I should be able to just add my stairs back in. There we go. And then you can see through there we do have our little coat rack. So it does kind of work. It's a little bit funny. I wonder if I can make it look a bit better. No, it looks fine. So yeah, you can just see that there's coats through there, so that does add a little bit more to it so that it's not as cramped. Then let's go ahead and make our kitchen. And then obviously I'm thinking about having a little breakfast bar that comes off there. This is definitely going to be a very tight kitchen though. And to be fair, most rooms are going to end up being really tight. Then we can have our bar here, and that should kind of work. We can put our oven there. If I just grab a nice little white oven, and then we can put our fridge just directly next to it. I think this is working so far. This is a bit of a boring looking kitchen though. I don't know if I can make it look a little bit better. It's just a little bit like plain at the minute, isn't it? I think what it needs is slightly different. Like we need like a color palette for this kitchen. So let's maybe change the tiling a little bit to something a little bit more exciting, and then we can maybe start adding in a bit more color because I think it's a little bit I do like these cabinets, so I think I'm going to try and match the floor to the cabinets that we've got here. Ooh, we could actually, let's just go with that because that's quite a modern looking like floor, and then we can pick like I do actually like that fridge, but it just doesn't have much color to it. And even if you add the color, like, does that look okay? I think that looks okay. I think the whole kitchen just needs like a bit more to it. It's a very plain kitchen at the minute. Let's add some cabinets and stuff, or actually, would it be better to maybe add some shelving? That could make it a little bit more exciting instead of cabinets. Let's add some shelves. I think that'll make it look good, and then we can put loads of stuff on the shelves as well, and that'll look nicer. I'm just literally going to add these, and we're going to just span them all the way across here. That looks a little bit more exciting, and then at least we can put loads of stuff on there and it'll look way better because it'll be like decorated with things that actually have colour. I think that should be fine. Let's go ahead and just decorate this kitchen, and then I'll move on to the living room. The minute I'm just kind of grabbing a bunch of different little items that you'd have in the kitchen. So like we've got these cute little spices. I'm going to add like a couple of those in because I think that they always look really good in the kitchen. I've added like a couple of plants in. We do have like these cute little pictures as well. I think let's make it even more exciting. Let's actually have some stacked pictures up in here, which I don't normally do in a kitchen, but I think it should actually make it look a little bit better because at the minute it looks quite plain. There are definitely pictures that look like more kitcheny because they're like these kind of ones. So if we do one here, I think the brown frame is definitely better. There we go, we got some stacked pictures up in that corner, which I think looks really good. Then I do like books as well, because I like the idea that obviously you've got like a collection of like books in your kitchen that you can like have a look at. So I'm going to add some books as well. Okay, then finally I'm just adding a few little bits to the little like counter that we've got in the corner. So I'm just going to add little bits that you would have, so like some cutlery. I'm going to add another plant. I think I'm going to go with like this one. This is one of my favourite plants. I'm going to put that just in the corner there. Might have to shift some more things around. I did want like this little bowl of fruit as well, which I think looks pretty cute in a kitchen. There we go. I think that looks alright. I do want to move the fruit bowl a little bit. I don't know if it will look better a little bit further back. Actually, is the fruit... I feel like it might actually be taking a bit too much room. Let's get rid of the fruit bowl. I think that's a pretty good kitchen. I quite like that. I think it does obviously look a little bit plain. I don't know whether maybe I could add some more stuff to this side of the wall. That might be a better idea. Or if I shift the oven there, I can put a overhead, like, I don't know what they're called, extractor fan? Yeah, I can put an extractor fan if I do that. So let's move that over, move my little pot to here. Then I can put in an extractor fan, and at least that fills it in a little bit more as well. Gonna go with the newer looking extractor fan, I think, which is this one. And then what else can I add? So we do have some room over here. I do like to have aprons in my kitchens as well. I'm trying to think of where I could put them though. Here might be a spot just on the other side. Then obviously here I would like something, but I'm not entirely sure what I could put there. We do have like just general decorations as well, like these, which I think I'm going to add directly behind there. A picture also would work, so if I can't find something in this bit that would go there, although we do have pans. Actually, that does look kind of cool. Especially, it makes sense as well in like a quite like tiny kitchen that you would have your pans on the wall. So let's go with that, and then maybe a skinny picture just directly above it would look pretty cool as well. Don't know if there's any that are thin enough though. We do have this one. I don't know if this one's going to work. If I make it a little bit smaller, we put it there, then like lower our pot a little bit. Yeah, you know what? I like that. I think that looks really cool. I might change the color of these. Black makes more sense in this kind of kitchen. Then, yeah, I think that's kind of it. We need some little stools for our benches here. Maybe just like simple black ones like this works quite well. It's quite an industrial style like kitchen, to be fair. Then yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's move on to our living room, which is this bit. This shouldn't be too bad because we've got actually like a decent amount of space. I'm going to put the sofa here and then we can put the TV on the other side. And we can either fit a two-person sofa and a dining table, or we can fit a three-person sofa and put a dining table in front, maybe? I'm absolutely obsessed with this sofa from the college pack, so I might use this one. I'm trying to find one that will go with like the color scheme that we've already got though. So if I pop that there, let's have a look at the colors. So there are some bright colors in this one. Oh, this actually works really well though. It goes with the slight tones of red that we did as like an accent color in the last room. I'm then gonna add in a coffee table, just like a little one in the middle. And we'll go with like this grey colour maybe? I think that kind of works. We'll do a coffee table there, and then obviously on the other side we need the TV. And I think on a TV unit would probably be better. We've gone like more modern in this house than I thought we would. We could do a red one as well. It's a bit more sense. Yeah, then let's stick our TV on. I think that kind of looks good. Then we can put some like little plants and things just next to it. Don't know whether that coffee table's actually a little bit too like wide, like the depth. I mean, I think it's a little bit deep. I think we might be able to get a better one. These ones are quite good. I quite like. We can get them in this color. Yeah, that looks a lot better. I like that more. So then let's grab some plants and put those to the side as well. We want to make sure that we keep like a lot of plants in there because I think plants tend to really make a house. Especially when it's like a small space, you can make it feel a lot nicer. I think I'm going to go with maybe this plant. It's a little bit too big though. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Can it fit in there? Okay, cool. Then maybe another one on this side. I don't know whether that's going to look a bit too cluttered though. Unless I put a tall like hanging plant. I don't think that works with the room very well. We definitely need something behind the TV though as well because that would look really cool. Maybe like just this little plant here. Yeah, that works. And then let's put something behind the TV. Maybe something like this because we have gone with kind of modern aesthetic and that has the red in it from the rest of the room as well. So I'm going to go with this rug, I think. It's quite a nice like comfy rug. I don't know if it actually goes with the colour palette though that we've got at the minute. That one works a little bit better. And then let's pick, like obviously the table as well, but I'll pick that after. Let's grab some pictures. I think something more simplistic would be better. Obviously we do have that picture on the other side. This one's quite cool. I think I'm going to change the rug because the rug's not modern enough. It's a very nice rug, but it just doesn't fit. What about this one? That actually works quite well. Okay, I'm going to go with that one instead. I think it's a very strange, like, living room. I've never made a living room that looks like that, but, you know, I guess we'll go with it. Then that's kind of it for those two rooms. Let's do our tiny bathroom over here, which is just going to be a toilet and a sink. I can, if I push it over, also add a shower in there, which I might do. If you've got 8 people living in a place, you kind of want like more places that you can actually go into to use the toilet, because otherwise it ends up being a bit chaotic. I'm thinking I might go with like a similar like wall to what we picked in the kitchen flooring, and then for the actual flooring maybe just pick like the same wood that we've got out here. Yeah, I think that looks quite nice. It's quite cozy. Then let's go in and grab our shower. I'm thinking like something like this. Annoyingly, it's like gonna be the wrong angle wherever we put it. Because obviously I'm gonna be putting it like there, which means that you come out immediately into the door, which is kind of annoying. I mean, alternatively, I could put it here. Yeah, we'll put it there actually. Then we can have the toilet there, which I think is probably the best idea. So grab a regular looking toilet, put there, then we can have the sink on this side, so at least then we can have a little mirror above it as well. I think I'm going to change the toilet just so that it matches that sink that I just did there, and it's this one, I think. Yeah. Then let's add in our little mirror. I'm just going to pick something simple, like I think that's probably the best approach. Then obviously we want a couple decorations as well, so we're going to have our little toilet roll, and it's put towels in as well, just right next to this shower. I'm going to go with 2. We're going to go with 1 there, and then I'm going to pick another one just directly above it. I've never actually done that before, but I think it looks pretty good. And it makes sense if you've got a house with many, many people that you would have multiple towels. Add in a little bath mat. Then what else? I guess we've got like all of this side as well that we can put things on. Not entirely sure what you'd even have on there though. Maybe let's put a picture. I feel like that could work, or a full-length mirror might work as well. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I actually think that is all that needs. I don't want to add too much into that room, otherwise it'll feel like super cluttered. Then while we're doing bathrooms, let's just go upstairs and do the upstairs bathroom as well. So this one we're going to have a shower in, so that's quite important. I think I'm going to go with the same wood that we picked in the downstairs toilet, but we'll change the walls up. So this time, let's go with something a little bit different. Maybe a little bit lighter. Could go with white. Yeah, let's go with white. Let's do the same brick that we picked downstairs, or the same tiling, but let's go with that one instead, and let's pick a bath this time. Thinking maybe just something like this, so that it's also a shower, so that you can have multiple options. Then if we go to the other side, we can pop in our toilet and sink. I am going to move this there, just so that we can have those additional items, otherwise they won't work. Then we'll just pick the same sink and toilet. Gonna actually switch these around. Have the sink there, and then the toilet there. Then let's grab in a similar mirror that we had downstairs. Might change it to like a slightly different color instead. Maybe this one. Yeah, it works a little bit better. Then above the toilet, I want we can have like a really nice thing somewhere. There it is. I want this. This always looks really cool. I think the color of it is pretty matching. Then this one actually comes with a towel already on it, so that's pretty good. And then I just want to add in a little bath mat as well. Pick a different bath mat from the one that we picked downstairs. Probably like a more simple one like that. I think that's where you come out of it, so we'll pop it there. Then that's our bathrooms done. I don't really think there's a massive amount else that I can actually add because they're quite small. So let's just go with those for now, and then let's move on to our bedrooms finally. So I'm going to start with the garage. Now, obviously, you wouldn't live in a garage and have a car, so I'm going to leave the car out of it and just say that this family probably just didn't have enough room for all the people, so ended up just selling the car so that they could put the other person into the garage, is kind of the idea. But obviously, it's a garage, so it's probably brick on the inside. I think that tends to look a bit more accurate. None of the brick that they have is like a red brick, so I'm not going to use red. This one's quite nice, but it does feel very dark. It feels accurate though, so I'm going to go with that one. Actually, this one's slightly lighter. Let's go with that. I haven't really changed the lighting in any of these rooms so far. I think the only one that I would change actually is the living room, so I'm going to quickly go do that. We'll move this lighting over here just so that we've got enough lighting spread out across the entire place. Maybe something like this. It's a bit modern. Yeah, that works. So we also didn't add anything to the table, which I definitely want to add. I think I might add some like candles or something. Yeah, like this one's quite nice. Yeah, I'm gonna add that, and then I think I just want to add that one thing in there. We do have like as well. Oh, actually, I like that more. Let's add that to the set, like to just this side section here. Then maybe like like some flowers or something. I don't really know what you'd add like this. Yeah, that's quite nice actually. I like that. Okay, cool. Then let's move over to here where I wanted to add in just a singular light bulb instead of this light that we have here. I might actually add both just because this room is looking quite dark already and I don't really like to have super dark rooms. But yeah, if we add a bulb there, that looks right. That's like a decent amount of light coming in. Then the floor is actually pretty accurate to what you would have in like a garage. It would obviously be like this kind of concretey kind of feeling to it, but I might change it slightly so it's a slightly different. Oh, actually, you would have that. That might work a little bit better. And to be honest, this is probably one of the only rooms that you would have like a double bed in if you were going to have one. So I might add a double bed in here so that at least we've got like some double beds around. I think this one fits quite well in with like the room like aesthetic got going. It's like a really nice bed as well. I actually really like that bed. You could also add a little desk in so that we do actually have a desk somewhere. Put it like here. Trying to think of what kind of desk you'd have. It would probably be quite a rough desk because it's literally in a garage. Although we didn't really do that with the bed, but it should be okay. A lot of the desks are quite big. Quite like this desk though. That one looks quite nice, and we could shift over a bit so it's there. It is definitely going to get in the way of this double bed though. So I wonder if we can we move the double bed anywhere? Not really. I'll put the double bed here so that at least it's still usable as a double bed, but it is pressed up against the corner, which I know like a lot of you guys don't really like, but it is still usable as long as you're like paying attention to your Sims, you can still use it. We'll add like a hint of green into this room as well, just to make it feel a little bit more cozy maybe. Then I'm trying to work out what else we could do. So we need a book. So we need like a wardrobe type thing. I think we could put that here. It's definitely going to feel like quite tight, but I think it should be all right. Oh, I tell you what, you're actually more likely to have like a clothes rail. That would make a lot more sense. So let's have a look at clothes rails instead. I feel like it'd be more likely that you would have like something like this directly over here, and then you can at least just like hang your clothes up. Pick like a slightly brown, maybe less brown, put there, and then I should be able to just add in my clothes. There we go, that looks pretty good. And then maybe move it over like, then I can put some decorations in there as well. So we can put like some plants and things around it. Going to put a plant as well on this table that we've got over here. Put some more storagey bits in there. I feel like you would probably use these little storage areas to the max because it's quite a small space. You could also make this space feel way bigger by putting like a mirror here. Like if you did like this, it obviously feels a lot bigger. But I feel like you just wouldn't have that in a garage, so it doesn't really make sense. But you would probably put a mirror in there, so I could put a little mirror there maybe. Yeah, that looks quite nice actually. You would definitely have like pictures. I'm trying to think of what kind of pictures you'd actually have though. Just again, like some more simplistic would probably be better. Okay, so I just picked like a group of pictures and the little Sims logo there. And then I'm thinking you could actually also put some shoes just literally on the floor down there because that would make sense. It's kind of like you got to come in from outside. So I'm just going to add a set of shoes. What else have we got? So we don't really have like a massive amount else room. I might add like a little laptop something just literally there. So at least the room is like a little bit more usable. So let's just grab, where's the laptop? There. That there. Maybe add a little lamp as well. Could do with maybe a bit more decorations and then maybe like a couple of plants and things just to make this room not feel as bad. Just because it does feel like it's very like again, quite industrial, but I guess it makes sense if you're literally like living in a garage. Just gonna add like some other random plants around to feel bad. Thing is, all of these plants would probably die because there is way not enough lighting. But I guess if you opened up this, it'd be quite nice as well. To make it feel a little bit more like airy, I guess, as well. Yeah, how does that look? I think that looks pretty good. I think the only thing I can think is I might want like a mat just as you're coming in because this is your living space, so you don't want it to be dirty. So add just a little one there. Maybe change the color of it. Grey. Yeah, that looks quite nice. To be honest, I would absolutely love living here. I think it looks so cool. I did think as well, I didn't add like a mat into the actual entranceway either. So I might add one there. I'd say like this entranceway is not that great at the minute. I think that it definitely needs to be like a little bit more exciting. Obviously, we put that little like rail like underneath the stairs, but I still feel like it just needs a bit more to it. Maybe a better light or something. Let's see about maybe putting in a better light. Well, something like this. That's quite nice. I think that definitely gives it a different feel about it. I think it's because it's warm lighting. It kind of gives it a warm feeling as you enter. Okay, so we've done those bits. Let's move on to our first 3x3 room, which is this one, which is one of the downstairs bedrooms. For this room, I think let's sort of stick to like these kind of shades that we've been doing. I think these are quite nice to do. Let's do this as a bit of a like older girls' room. I think that could be quite good. So something that's like got tones of like lighter colors like pink, but trying to like stick to it not looking too childish. So like white floor, like this sort of desaturated pink like walls should be quite good. I don't want to add too many bunk beds, so let's not go with a bunk bed for this one. Ooh, this is a really good bed. Okay, we'll go with that bed. I'm gonna push it up a little bit though to this wall. Or actually, naturally you'd have it like there, so let's put it against... just give us a little bit of space at the end of the bed as well. I'm trying to think about what I could put at the end of that bed there. What would be... Actually, let's put the bed on the other side. Actually, you probably wouldn't have it there because of the window. It would end up like you're literally sitting like in a window. I know that I definitely want to include curtains because you're literally like right at the front of the house, so it'd be really good to have curtains. I think let's maybe put a little TV on the wall. That could be quite good. So something like this, or let's grab a normal TV you'd have on the wall and actually just make it smaller like that. Yeah, that works quite well. Then you can still sit in bed and watch TV, or make it white instead. Do we know what I want to do at the bottom here? Maybe we move it up a little bit. This. I feel like it's too smaller. Too small. Now we'll go with that one there. Could you see that if you were laying in bed? Probably. Then we'll add a tiny table just to the end of the bed there. There we go. And then I can add some little bits onto that little table. So let's add in maybe a little plant. Then I'm feeling like a candle would look really good. Yeah, like a light. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, cool. Then we've got the other side of the room. So we've got this area. We've obviously got this massive section here, which I think a picture would look quite nice. So let's go ahead and find what kind of work. Ooh, this is quite nice actually. Yeah, let's go with that one. Maybe like a little bit smaller. No, actually, I think it looks alright bigger. We'll go with the bigger one. And then on the other side of the room, I guess we do again need some kind of wardrobe somewhere. So a wardrobe could work quite well. I also want to include a desk if I can, but I don't know if that's going to be a bit of a stretch. I mean, another option is I do a similar thing to what I did in this room, and we can have like the wardrobe bit go across here. We'll do it in white instead, and we'll just do it so that it goes like this, and then have a plain one, maybe? I don't really know. Have like a white one here so that it all connects up. I definitely feel like I need to move a little bit. We will make it slightly smaller. Then I'm going to bring it down so that it's just over the bed. Then that gives us way more storage up here as well. And then we can put a little desk in front of that window there is kind of what I was thinking. So in terms of decorations, I'm going to add a plant to this side of the room. Just add a little square one and I'll pop it there. Then obviously we need some clothes. So I'm going to go with probably just like these kind of clothes. And if we can get like a lighter pair, probably like something like this. Yeah, that works. Then shoes, I guess, again, yeah, some little shoes on the floor would work quite well. I don't think there's a lot of room to be able to put shoes like in the hallway and things because there's so many of them. So keeping them in your room would be a little bit better. Just put like a couple of pairs. Then obviously over here is where I wanted the desk. I do need more decorations up here as well, but I'm going to put the desk in first. I think something that's a bit more simple work better. This one's quite cute. Does kind of get in the way of the clothes, but as long as you can get to one set of clothes, it doesn't really matter. Then let's put in a little desk chair. This one's super cute. I think I do want to use this one just because it's absolutely adorable. Comes in like a little cow print as well. Then we could do maybe like these cute little pastel set, like iPad thing. Add a little light in as well. What else would work? Put another candle in. I feel like this person probably does like candles, so they've got two now in the room. We do have like a Himalayan salt lamp as well, but that's the same kind of vibe as the candle. Let's do that instead just because we have already used a candle. Grab a little tissue box. I'm trying to think of what else. Probably put, if we move this over here, we can put like another plant behind there. Then obviously we need some stuff up here. So I'm going to add another plant there. Then we just want some general clutter, I think, just like some boxes and stuff where you'd be storing your things. Just kind of adding like some books and stuff and other little bits you might have around. There you go, I think that looks all right. Then we do have the last little bit of the room, which is here. So I don't really know what I would add there. Like a mirror is okay, but it's not really gonna like fill in the room enough. Obviously, I could put another plant. I don't know whether it might actually be a better idea just to shift this whole thing over here, but I don't know if that then makes it like impossible to actually enter the room. Tell you what, I am gonna just add in an additional plant, but I'm gonna add this one because I think this one looks really cool. Cute. Okay, yeah, I like that. I might actually shuffle this over just a little bit. Then there. Can we get that in a slightly different color? Yeah, we can. That one looks a little bit better. Okay, cool. So that's our first room done. Well, our second room done. We've done 2 bedrooms now, and let's go upstairs. So obviously upstairs is a little bit crowded. This is really annoying me. So I don't know if I can just shuffle them slightly over so that there is actually a corner. I just realized something. The stairs go there, so this is literally impossible to get to. We might actually have to change it because I don't know how you would get into that room otherwise. We might have to have it so that we do have one room, just one, where you have to go through a different room to get there, which is incredibly annoying, but I guess you could have that as a kid's room. Then it would fit 8 people still. And also makes more sense to have like an infant or a toddler in like a room that's adjoining to it. So I think we are gonna have to go with that. Kind of annoying, but should be okay. At least it's just one room. So let's actually start over here. So we're going to start with the little like toddler room slash probably parents room. I am thinking if it's like slash a parents room, you'd probably have a double bed in here. I could do that, but it would have like very minimal like space to actually have a wardrobe or anything. I could do something similar to what I did in the last one though. So it should be okay. I'm gonna do like let's pick like a color palette, I guess. I think what would be quite good? Let's go with wooden flooring actually for these ones, for both the adult and like the infant room. Then let's go with what would be good. We're going to go with neutral tones, I think, and we'll do the same room for both of them. I could actually, instead of a door, let's just do an open like doorway instead. We haven't really done that yet. I think that that could be quite good. Mix it up a little bit. We can just have it so that it just goes immediately into that room. Because we could also have a wardrobe in there, so you can use both of them if you're like the parent and you've got like your infant in that room. We've got this perfect little like little gap as well that would be absolutely amazing to have like a little infant in there. So let's grab a double bed. Well, I don't really know which one I want to pick. Probably this. We'll go with like, oh yeah, you definitely wouldn't be able. So if you put that there, you would be able to use it, but you would literally have to like shuffle over to the other side, which you're going to have to do no matter what, but it makes sense that you would have like this double bed again still in this room. This is the really annoying part. I'm trying to work out if there's a way that you could change it so that the other room is smaller, but even so, I don't think it would work. So I'm trying to think of this. So let's see maybe about changing this shape of this room, but it's already such a weird shape that I don't know if it's going to work. I'm just thinking like if you pushed it this way, it would give you a very minimal space. I'm just going to get rid of that. That other room basically becomes a walk-in wardrobe. But it's kind of okay. I'm not like too fussed about it. It's just a little bit annoying because what you can do is you can put let's have a look. Like basically the same stuff as we were using downstairs. I think these things are just really good space savers because you can just grab them and literally stick them in the corners. You could put like one here and then another one on the other side. This is basically a walk-in wardrobe and is completely useless to like anyone that isn't 2 people. But to be fair, because this is like definitely a 2-person room, that's kind of an additional person, right? Fit, kinda. I don't know. I'm just thinking. To be fair, this could fit like more than 8 people in this entire thing. I'm just kind of like looking and like that is basically a walk-in wardrobe. But this is basically 2. So if you didn't want this to be a baby, like in here, let's get rid of that. We'll just do with it on this one side. Well, hang on. We'll keep it on that side, get rid of it on this side. See, I feel like I would actually rather it be a wardrobe, and I think we can, yeah, we do have like things that are classed as wardrobes in this slightly smaller size, and it would still work as a wardrobe. Or we've got, oh, that's really cute as well. I like that. Okay, let's go with that one. I think that's quite nice. Then definitely add something a little bit more kiddie to the other side. Maybe just like a big teddy bear or something, and then we could also add in some shelving as well. So let's add in big teddy bear, then add in over here some little shelving that will then allow me to like at least add a couple more bits that are actually for infants. So if we just add in like here, we can just add in 2 shelves, then go to decorations, or I guess like as well. Then obviously here we've got like these little boxes that are for infants. I use them for pretty much anything though, but they are definitely meant for infants. We can put these things up here, then maybe add some toys on the lower section. So just cute little things like this would work, or what else? Good. Oh, actually we've got little like books as well there, so you can still read to the kiddo. Then I could add a bunch of toys to it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can add to that shelf. Toys do work, but they're very small, so they don't really like work super well. You can add like a little nightlight maybe. Yeah, that works quite well. We'll add that in the middle. Then I'm gonna add this teddy bear. We can get it in a colour that kind of works a little bit better with the room maybe. Yeah, that one works better. Make it a bit smaller, raise it all the way up, and then I'll just stick that on this shelf here. Then maybe finally we just add a little kitty. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. At least there's some stuff on there. Then obviously we've got our little infant area here, which I could add a little like mobile or something to it. Or we have like this little cloud. I'm going to do the cloud instead. I think that looks a lot cuter. Then obviously we've got our little, called the crib. We got a little crib as well. And that's the final bit of the room. Change colour a little bit so it's still pretty cute. That works quite well. I don't know whether curtains would be a good idea, but I think that room's going to start looking really crowded if I keep going with it. So let's move on to this room, which is obviously the parents' room. So we do not have like a massive amount of space, but at least they can get in on both sides. So I need some little side tables. I'm going to go with the one from the same pack so that all the colours match. Just let's turn the thing around first so that it makes a bit more sense. And we can add this here. Then I'm going to add the same one on the other side. Then let's add in some things. So I'm thinking a plant on one side and then a lamp on the other. So I'm going to go with this, which is my favourite plant, add that there. Then on the other side, let's put a lamp. There we go. And then maybe like some curtains as well, just mainly because like that back wall looks a little bit strange with a singular window. Just something like that kind of works as well. I'll have to add forwards a little bit, but I think that definitely makes it look a little bit better. Then obviously we've got all of this side as well that we can add some to. So I am again thinking like maybe a skinny table, something like, what would work? I don't know. I don't know if it'll get in the way actually. It should be fine in terms of still getting past. So just something like this would do. I could pick it in the same colour as well. So let's go with that one. And then I am going to add another TV as well. We've got many TVs in this house. We're going to add a big old TV just directly above it. And then we've got all of this space as well to be able to add some little bits to it. So I'm thinking we could just add a little plant on there. I want this room to be like kept kind of minimal. Don't really know what else you would actually have there though. To be fair, I guess you don't really need to put anything else there just because otherwise this room will start to look very crowded. I could put a little picture on the wall though, something a bit more simplistic. Even just like something like this is quite nice. Yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. And then I could put something else there if I wanted. I don't know whether like something like this works quite well. Or any of these the right kind of shade. A bit better. Yeah, we'll go with that. We do have this corner of the room as well. So we do have like plenty of room in this one because we made the other one quite small. I am, again, just thinking about plants, like what kind of big plant could I add in? Could go with one of my favourite ones, which is one. Just add it there. Yeah, I think that looks quite nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll go with that. Then moving on to one of our other rooms. So we've got 3 remaining. I'm going to do these 2 small ones next, I think. So I think with this one we could put a double bed in there, but I don't think I want to go with that for this one. I think I would rather it be a little sort of a person who likes reading quite a bit, just because what we can do then is add in a little chair as well so that they can also read, which I think is a pretty good way about going about things. So we'll go with yellow tones for this room, I think, and we'll put the bed. I was thinking about putting the bed there, but I think it might be better to put it here. Then we can put the chair here so that you have like a little bit more of like natural lighting where you're going to be sitting. I do have an idea. I want this chair. I really love this chair. I think it looks so cool. I'm going to pop this just so that it's angled a little bit more towards there's a room. And then obviously we need some books. So I'm going to use a bookshelf that's like on the wall here, but then I'm also going to add a bunch of shelving with just like loads of books. So for the one on the wall, I was thinking something like this. I can raise it up a little bit. We can put that there, then a bunch of shelves just all across the top bit of the room. I'm just going to go with, I guess, like this kind of colour is probably a good one. Yeah, then we'll do 3 up there. Ooh, actually, I changed my mind. Those shelves look horrible. I'm going to go with white instead, and we're going to do just the 3 at the top of the room. I might do the same thing on the other side as well, actually, just because they are quite high up, and then it should leave us with like quite a lot of empty space. To be fair, I could do another row actually in this side. Then we don't even have walls yet, so let's go ahead and add in our wallpaper. I could go with something bright like this, but it's a little intense. I don't know if this one will be better though. It's still a little bit bright. I'd rather it be like a little bit more cozy. This one's a little bit better, but it's a little bit... Ugh. I feel like this one's probably the best option. It's still kind of that like light colour that we've got in the yellow. How does that chair? Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna move the chair a little bit, just so that it's a bit more here maybe, and then we can eventually add like a little stool or something. What else would work actually? Table? Yeah, we could add this one actually. Add that one there so that you've got a little space to be able to put things. We don't actually have a wardrobe anywhere in here though, so I don't know if that's kind of going to be a problem given that this is actually a bedroom. We could put one here. I don't know if that's going to get in the way of getting into the bed, but it might be okay. If I grab a short one, like with this one here, if I put it there, does that get in the way? I don't know if you'd actually be able to enter. I mean, an alternative is that we use that as like the storage for the room, but I don't know if that's going to be a bit like as like the little table there, but it just won't look as... I really like this thing, but I think it's going to be too big, and I don't know if it still works if you make it smaller. To be fair, it might do. It doesn't really work as being able to put anything on it though, which is kind of what I wanted from the side table. This is another side table. It's a little bit... If I like make it that size, that's a little bit better. It's very tall though compared to the bed. Don't really have a lot of the options, so I can make that smaller. That, to be fair, that kind of works. If I press this up here, we can do the same with this. How does that look? That actually looks alright. Yeah, okay, let's go with that. Then you should be able to get in there. If I push this over a little bit, pull it over a bit more. Yeah, that kind of works. I feel like this room could look a little bit better. I don't know if it's this little, like, shelving thing here. Let's see if there's any better ones. Because you wouldn't be able to reach for a book there anyway, really. But I could put books on the table which work that way too, or just anything that goes like on here would also work. I kind of like this one. I think that looks quite nice. Then we could add to that. And I was thinking about putting books on like here or here as well anyway. But yeah, let's do the shelves first because that's going to take a while. I'm going to have to move these things out temporarily while we do that anyway. I might put these on the slightly lower ones just because otherwise there's literally no way of reaching them. No, I think it looks better that way actually. Then let's literally just fill this top section with books, which is going to take a solid while, but I'll see you guys after I do that because I'll just edit it out. Okay, so I've added all the books on that side so we can pull this little guy back in and pull this in, and then maybe have some more books. I don't know if they can fit on any of those. They can't, but we can fit them on there. So let's just put like a massive stack there, and then what else? We've got these, which I think are absolutely adorable. I'm gonna include these ones on this little side table here so that still grab some stuff. I might wiggle that around in it, but I can also put... Where else can I put things? We need like some more stuff on here, so like a little lamp maybe? Or I can put a bigger lamp on the other bit. Maybe a candle. Yeah, that looks quite good. Then I wanted like a big, like overarching lamp there, but I don't know if it's going to be too big. So I would like to include this, but this thing is huge and I think it might be a bit too big to fit in this room. So let's see if there's like a smaller one, but to be honest, I feel like there's a massive lack of like nice looking lamps for these kind of rooms. A lot of them tend to be like huge for some reason, or just like really ugly. Like what? Why would you have that? And some of them are kind of cool, but just don't fit with the actual aesthetic that a lot of houses go for. I think I'm just going to end up going with like a wall light, not gonna lie. Maybe just something like this. Yeah, that like kind of looks cool. Let's shuffle things around then, because I did leave a little bit of space so that I could have like a light at the back if needed. I just realised as well we don't even have flooring. I want to go with like the really fluffy one for pastel set. Yeah, that one's cute. I could do it in like an orange colour. I think it might be a bit too orange. The yellow one does not look that great either. How about pink? Nah, I feel like the yellow one, the white one's alright. It kind of goes with it better. Then we've got the next challenge, which is again adding all of the books to here, so I'll see you guys after I do that. Okay, so we've got all our books on there. There is a lot of books. So now I'm thinking in terms of like decorations, it could be cool to have like some like posters and things that kind of look like they're from books, which I think there is a few of them that are like that. So let's try and find those. So there's things like these, which I think are perfect. If we grab a few of these, what else looks like it's from books? That's clearly like a book poster. That could be a book. So I'm going to grab this one, we'll put it a little bit higher. This kind of looks as well. Then we do have like all of these as well, which is just like more posters and things and like a little calendar, which I think is, so I might go with that. I know that there is like, ooh, these are kind of cool actually. Have I never noticed these before? These are awesome. Ooh, I like these. Is there any of these that'll actually work kind of well in here? There's like anime posters as well, or the periodic table, which kind of goes with that kind of nerdy book readery vibe. I think I'm going to go with the periodic table. I think that's kind of cool. Then I'm going to put it there. Then is there anything else? Maybe add a couple of plants or something into that corner, like I kind of did with the other one. They got to be like skinny plants because they don't really fit otherwise. Pick like a white one like this to make it a little bit smaller there. Yeah, that looks all right. Okay, cool. I think that room is actually done. I managed to fit like quite a decent amount in there as well. So let's move on to our next little room. So we've got this tiny little one here. Now, originally I did say I was trying to make it so that it was all adults, and obviously I have like gone on that a little bit, and we did like an infant room for one of the other rooms. So this one I might make it more like a child's room, and we'll do bunk beds. Although we did have to do bunk beds for one of them. So how many have we got at the minute? So technically that could be a two-person room, but I'm trying to do it, I guess, more based on like if it's a double bed, then it's kind of just for one person, but you could have two. So I don't know actually. If you had two parents, that's like a parent's room, right? So it'd be 1, 2, because you get on both sides of the bed. We'll base it off of that. So that's 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6. So 7, 8. So yeah, we could do this as more of like a kid's room. But to be fair, that this would be better for a kid's room because kids have like a lot of stuff and items and things. So this could maybe be like a teenager's room or something like that. I think I'm still gonna do a bunk bed, so we'll do bunk beds in these two just so that it leaves more room. Or I guess if this is like, yeah, you'd have a bunk bed if you were a child in that room. Let's do bunk beds in these last two rooms then. So for this one, let's try and go with like a bit more of a like darker tone maybe, a bit more like blues and things, like a slightly more like a masculine room. So I'm thinking like this would kind of work. We've got like these kind of more golden colors. I could make the whole thing a lot darker though if I did like this. Actually, that works a little bit better. We'll do like some darker tones of like blacks. Then in terms of flooring, what work quite well. Could do black carpet, but I feel like that looks really strange, but it's kind of cool. I kind of like it. Let's go with that. Then I'm going to add a little desk under here and then we can have a wardrobe on this side. Yeah, so I'm going to go with that desk and then I guess pick matches for the chair. Don't really know what would match. We don't really have any other colours in here. We could do greens. That's quite nice. Then add in a little computer and then probably just like a little lamp and some clutter and stuff. So pop a lamp there. Then add some decorations. We haven't got walls either, so I need to work out what kind of walls we want for this room. So I think, I don't even know what kind of walls would work well for here, to be fair. Like something darker, like this. That's quite nice, actually. It's kind of cozy. Okay, cool. Then finally, we've got this side, which I'm thinking like obviously wardrobe and stuff would work quite well. Have a slightly bigger one. I'm thinking like something like this would work quite well. Yeah, that works perfect, actually. We can match the color of the wood as well to the bed, so it does actually work. Then we can put a mirror on the other side. Something like this looks kind of cool. Yeah, I like that. That looks awesome. If I shuffle this over, we can put something else there as well, like a plant or something. Add in the green tones that we've kind of got from the chair that we've picked. We can go like it's kind of green. Wow, this is such a nice room. I like this room. And we could put some pictures up there finally that are just on, like, so that you can see it while you're in bed and stuff, so it looks a little bit nicer. But something smaller would be better for that. Just like a little picture of a candle. Yeah, I like that. Oh, that room's so cute. Okay, go with that. Then we're on to our last room, which is going to be the kids' room. Annoyingly, we've basically ruined this whole edge for ourselves because the door is there, but I can't really do much about that. So for this room, I want it to be a little bit more colourful as this is for like a child. So let's maybe go with like some, I don't even know. I was going to go purple and now I'm looking at like blue and that's kind of cool. Yeah, let's go with blue. So we're going to have like light blues as the main colour palette. Is there any cool looking like blue walls? It's a bit extra actually. I might like, what if it was white instead? I mean, that's kind of cool, but I don't know if it's kind of, I wanted it to be a little bit more childy. I think this one's a bit too young. That's kind of cool. I feel like the white one looks a little bit cooler. Yeah, let's go with that. Then I feel like we're just going a bit more crazy with this room, but I think that it's going to look pretty cool in the end. Let's go grab a bed. So definitely another bunk bed, and we're going to want one that's got blues in it. That's got blues, but it's not really what I was after. It's to be like lighter. That's got blues and yellows. This one's pretty good actually. Yeah, I like this one. So we'll go with this bed in the corner there, too far in. There we go. And then we can go ahead and add in all of our little like toys and things. So obviously, again, we will need a wardrobe. I don't really know where I'm going to put that. This is a really cool wardrobe, actually. We can just put it directly underneath there, which looks pretty good. Yeah, I like that, unless there's a nicer one. Are any of these better? I don't know, actually. Let's see if this one's a little bit nicer. Because this one comes in some blue shades, but I don't know if it's going to... Actually, yeah, that looks kind of cool. I might go with that one instead. Yeah, let's go with that one. And then let's add in some kids' toys and things. So this is for a child. So we're going to want it to... I'm trying to think of what kind of kids stuff you'd have in here. Obviously, like a bookcase could be good. We'll put that... We could put that over here, actually. We are kind of blocking off the window a little bit, but I think it's okay. That should still allow you access to there. Or I could put the bookcase on the other side. Yeah, we'll go with the other side. I think it looks a bit better. Then on the wall, we do have this little thing of like kids' books, which I'm going to include. We're kind of doing like this side of the room now, so we'll shuffle over there. So then in terms of activities, we've got like obviously arty activities. So I'm going to put this in the corner. I think that's probably the best place for it. I don't know if we can really fit many more things in. We could put like a little violin maybe over here. Then I'm thinking maybe like a toy or something there would be quite good. We could do a little blue dinosaur. Oh, that's not a dinosaur, that's a dragon. We could do a little blue dragon, and then maybe just like a little robot or something here. Then we could put a little bit of decorations on the walls as well, because we do have a couple of blank walls. Put a couple of posters, or like this thing's really cool. I don't know if this is going to be too big. We could put that there, and any chance there's room for like another little thing, like directly underneath it. Could just put these little stickers there. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. I like that. Cool. I don't really think there's a massive amount else that we can add. We could put something over here. Don't know if there's like more toys or something. Put could do a little dog or something if we make it a little bit smaller. Just whack it in this corner. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, cool. I think that's all done then. And there is our 8-person tiny home complete. If you'd like to download this, it is in the gallery under 8-person tiny home under HextraHunt. I think that this challenge was definitely difficult. It was difficult to make it so that it was actually a usable like space for each of the rooms. I think that that's kind of the hardest part when it came to this kind of build. I really like the outside of like the actual house and the shape that it is. I think that that actually looks really cool. I managed to fit a surprising amount into like each of the living room space and of course like the kitchen as well, which I'm quite surprised about. I think this is actually a really cute little home, and if you really wanted to start the game off with 8 people, then this is definitely a good place to start. A lot of these rooms as well can be changed so that you have like additional people in, as you can change some of the beds to be like bunk beds. So if you would like to change it up and maybe not have the toddler's room and make it into like a little walk-in wardrobe and then have like a bunk bed in a different room, then you could do that too. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. And if you're enjoying my content, then please do subscribe if you haven't already. I post long videos like this every Wednesday and Friday at around 6 p.m. I also post shorts daily. On the screen is a recommended video, so if you enjoyed this one, be sure to check that one out too. And I hope you all have a great rest of your evening.